So that's where I don't even know if the people in the building believe that they are really the Super Bowl contender that they're getting pushed to be.
Obviously the Jets truther has to step on our opinions right now and say what he has to say. He's wagging his finger around. He's at a political debate or something like that.
This is a political debate. One minute.
But go ahead. Let's hear you.
I respect what you guys saying. And hold on.
You don't give a damn about any
Look at this
respect
guy.
on this
Look
show.
at this guy, huh?
I don't give a damn about no damn respect on this show.
Listen, I agree with you. I don't think Robert Saleh is the guy for this job.
Thank you.
The one thing I'm going to say is I'm not going to write them off yet. And the reason why, I just looked at the schedule, and I do think, I went back and rewatched that game. I do think that this team has resemblance of making a playoff caliber team. I think so. I think what I saw, and I think that Aaron Rodgers is very honest with themselves, and he can say that his week 1 performance wasn't great. They still got Garrett Wilson. They still got Breece Hall, and they still have a lot of talent on the defense. Their next 6 games, it's probably the easiest schedule in the NFL. And yes, you can't say every game's easy, but you got the Patriots twice. You got the Broncos. You have the Vikings. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers. If anything, the week 1 is the punch in the mouth that they needed. And I think that we'll know what type of team this is after the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to give them some more leeway. Like I said, I think that Aaron Rodgers, he still showed me that he has resemblance of being a top 10 quarterback. He made some great throws. And I'm not going to count him too much out because their offensive line still needs time to gel. That was his first game back from his Achilles injury. He hasn't played in 12 months. They still got Garrett Wilson. So I still think that this team can make the playoffs, and I wouldn't write them out yet.
I think you're missing the point me and Parker are saying. I don't think anybody here is necessarily discrediting Aaron Rodgers. I think at the end of the day, you still need a leader of men,
Yes.
a guy that knows how to win, and a guy that knows how to, play to your strengths, if you will, and realize this isn't Madden. You can't just take a bunch of guys with names, or, you have your quarterback being Aaron Rodgers and think that that's going to be enough to kind of break through. I think that's the real issue here at work. And I think that has been the issue I've had with Robert Saleh for a long time. He got that job in large part due to Nick Bosa having a breakout season and help transforming that 49ers defense with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. But when I look at it, I just don't think that, me personally, I don't think he's ever been a guy. Listen, you want your head coach to have answers to issues. And I never felt like Robert Saleh was that guy that had answers to issues. He was a guy that was very fortunate to have a pass rusher in a Nick Bosa, who they drafted to help transform his defense. But if people forget, before that, there were fire Robert Saleh tweets going viral on social media. A lot of people didn't think that guy was a good defensive coordinator. But this shows you, when you get talent in the building and you get a defensive coordinator who's hyped up on this sideline and looks like one of the bros, and he's like, let's go, baby, hyped up, pumped up. And everybody's so excited to see what that guy's going to bring if he becomes the head coach of said football team like the New York Football Jets. I think we got to start talking about it, though, at some point, though. Robert Saleh maybe not be cut out for the job. And this brings up a bigger issue, though, Parker. Before we continue our talk, this brings up a bigger issue. And here's what the bigger issue it brings up. Well, what happens if they do move on from a Robert Saleh? Does Aaron Rodgers feel so inclined to play the following year or play for the Jets? Will he ask to be let go? And then if Aaron Rodgers leaves, what trickles down after that? Does a guy like Garrett Wilson, who's Daniel is so high on, who literally spoke and raved about, I believe you even say you believe that guy could be like a Devontae Adams at one point.
I think he's that talent.
I agree.
Nagy sleeves and all.
Right.
His sleeves look crazy that game.
But here's the thing. Does that guy then ask for a trade?
Yeah.
And I see our producer Marissa put in the comment section, Jordan Travis. I'm sorry, Jordan Travis ain't doing it. He's just not. Good college quarterback. But I think that just speaks to a bigger issue. I think if Robert Saleh is gone, I think they have a bigger issue on their hand than the one that we're necessarily the one we're not necessarily discussing. Because right now we're just talking about Jets potentially making the playoffs or Jets being fraudulent, when I think the issue should be, a bigger one that we talk about